I'm Nicole Versansky from 19 News. Here are the latest headlines for Tuesday, February 24th, 2026.
First with breaking news. First with new information. Plus, your First Alert forecast. 19 News First at 4 starts now with a breaking news alert.
We begin with breaking news on the Amish mother accused of drowning her own son in Atwood Lake last summer. Thanks for joining us. I'm Nicole Versansky.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Brian Duffy. It was looking like the trial for Ruth Miller was actually going to start next Tuesday, but because of a hearing held late today, we will actually just get a verdict, and that will come on Tuesday.
So the hearing was live on 19 News Plus this afternoon. Digital anchor Dan DeRose explains, really, Dan, the surprising, unusual twist here.
Yeah, big twist. And you have to keep in mind, this is a case that involves a not guilty by reason of insanity plea. We'll get to more on that. We're talking about Ruth Miller. It was last August, Atwood Lake in Tuscarawas County, when officials were called out there, first responders, and she tried to explain to them that she and her husband were not being faithful to God. They tried to walk on water when they couldn't do it. That proved they weren't being faithful enough. Her husband then went swimming the next morning. Authorities say he drowned on his own. No actions by Ruth Miller. Seeing that as another sign, she told authorities in what they call a spiritual delusion that she decided to throw her 4-year-old son in the lake to, quote, give him to God. You'll see more of that confession in a second. Today in court, she waived a jury trial, which means it will be up to the judge. It is now a bench trial. But in an interesting move, both the defense and the state said, hey, there's only 5 pieces of evidence here, and we don't need to argue about them in court. Those 5 pieces of evidence are 2 police reports and 3 mental health evaluations. Now remember, those mental health evaluations said that she was competent to stand trial, meaning she understands what a trial is. But apparently, those 3 evaluations both agreed that she was very mentally ill on the day of those murders, or of the murder of the 4-year-old son, and that a judge will consider all 5 pieces of those. Doesn't need to have them explained in court because both sides agree, they stipulate to them. And so therefore the judge will review them over the next week and read the verdict on March 3rd at 10 a.m. And it is because of video like this that will help the judge when it goes to those 3 mental health evaluations.
Ma'am, can you explain to me what happened? Who did you throw in the water?
I gave my son to God.
Your son?
Yeah.
Where's your husband?
He went for a walk this morning.
And you haven't seen him since?
Never come back. And we went to the boat and his clothes were there. And God told me he in the lake and the fish swallowed. And you're actually supposed to go look for him in the bottom of the lake. When you will find the fish and you will find the hook. And then you will believe. But ye of your little faith that do not believe before sleep.
So, if those 3 mental health evaluations says she was extremely mentally ill, and if the judge agrees that this is a not guilty by reason of insanity, does not mean that she will walk free. It will mean that more than likely she will spend the rest of her days locked up in a mental health facility. We will wait to see if that's exactly what happens on March 3rd at 10 a.m. Of course, we will have live coverage of that on all of our digital platforms.
Now your 19 First Alert forecast. Certified most accurate since 2004.
Right now to your first alert on our next batch of snow.
Oh, next batch. Good. Good to hear. 19 First Alert meteorologist Andy Chillian is here tracking some of that snow, Andy, right into tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's not a lot of snow, so we saw more this past couple days than what we're going to get tonight. Really quick dose, and then we'll be kind of seeing that melt, as we're already seeing the snow melt in areas like Avon this afternoon. Let's look at Forefront Field, where, yeah, that snow is beginning to look a lot patchier than it did even just a few hours ago. Sun is out, and temperatures are near the freezing mark, and of course, here in late February, a higher sun angle. You don't even have to get right to freezing to start to see some of that snow begin to melt. So right now temperatures have been rising all day. We're at 30 in Cleveland, the rain, 33 in Sandusky, and 29, one of our cool spots in Canton. Still feels like the teens, though. That breeze is going to continue to pick up overnight. Temperatures will actually continue to rise through this evening and overnight, so we'll be above freezing as we start the day tomorrow. Right now, no, nothing much going on. We have had the end of the flurries and the lake effect snow. We're going to see the clouds increasing here later this evening. Snow doesn't really arrive until overnight, so we're fine. Notice temperatures may drop briefly through 7 o'clock and then rise again overnight. So when this snow is falling, yes, it may quickly coat the roads because it'll be falling heavily, but I expect most accumulation to be on grassy and elevated surfaces, and really the morning commute tomorrow is looking just fine. So we'll time things out for you and show you an updated snow map for the snow tonight. Then we turn our attention, end of the week is looking briefly milder before the start of the new month. It's going to be cold, at least for a short period of time. I'll show you lots of ups and downs in our 7-day forecast, all coming up here in just a bit.
Well, it's really a heartbreaking new video from the daughter of missing 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie. Today's show anchor Savannah Guthrie says her family now offering a $1 million reward for information leading to their mother's recovery. Now, this comes as the investigation into her disappearance has come up empty of meaningful evidence, and no arrests, no leads on Guthrie's whereabouts. Lee Waldman with the latest.
I'm coming on to say it is day 24 since our mom was taken in the dark of night from her bed.
As law enforcement is working on the investigation into the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, her daughter, Today Show anchor Savannah Guthrie, is offering up a reward for her mother's recovery.
We are offering a family reward of up to $1 million.
This is in addition to the FBI's $100,000 reward for information about 84-year-old Guthrie. It's the first we've heard from one of Guthrie's children in more than a week. Amidst the plea, Savannah Guthrie acknowledged for the first time that her mother may no longer be alive.
She may have already gone home to the Lord that she loves.
CNN's chief law enforcement and intelligence analyst John Miller believes this video comes as substantive tips in the case are slowing down.
The family still believes, and investigators concur with this, that there's still someone out there, maybe more than one someone, who actually knows.
Meanwhile, new details have emerged about the masked person seen on doorbell camera footage. The suspect visited her doorstep on 2 different days, not just the morning she is believed to have been kidnapped, a source told CNN. The Pima County Sheriff's Department said in a statement Monday there is no date or time stamp associated with these images, and suggesting the photos were taken on different days is purely speculative. I'm Lee Waldman reporting.
All right, Savannah Guthrie also announced a $500,000 donation to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, saying she hopes the attention given to her family will extend to all those missing loved ones.
Well, there was a minor train derailment in Alliance today. It shut down railroad crossings at Keystone and Park. We're told some sort of dry paper product was spilled, but it's not hazardous. As of 10 minutes ago, the intersection is still closed. Norfolk Southern is working to get the tracks cleared. Now, we don't know what caused those train cars to jump the tracks.
This is a 19 First Alert breaking traffic alert.
First alerting Canton drivers to this broken down truck that's on 77 northbound just around Route 30. So it's right here. It looks to be a gasoline truck for BP that is blocking that right side of 77 northbound again over at Route 30. Now there's a few first responders who are on scene, and even though we have this limited space because there's only 2 lanes here, with that move over law you would want to go as slowly around them as you can, but that's also causing slowdowns for a 3-mile stretch of 77 northbound with speeds under 20 miles per hour. So if you're about to be heading out and then heading north on 77, your drive is going to be 10 minutes longer than usual because of those backups that are well past where 77 meets Cleveland Avenue, also known as Route 800. Again, 10 minutes delays there. There's a couple other crashes to first alert you to. This one in Geauga in the Russell area is also causing a bit of a headache for drivers here because we have that crash that's on 306 just south of 87 here, but that's causing slowdowns from Kinsman to Kensington. So speeds right now just 7 miles per hour, and drivers who are heading south on 306 are seeing more than 15 minutes added onto their drive, which could be yours if you're about to be heading out and heading there right now.
Man just hit with felony charges today after police say he ran over his ex-girlfriend, simply drove away.
So the woman survived, but we do want to warn you, some of the pictures in this story are disturbing. First at 4, Brittany Weir breaks down the details.
Yes, police officers were called to the Carney Wagyu butcher shop just before 2 in the morning. Witnesses told them there was a woman lying in the parking lot and she was bleeding heavily from her face.
Trumbull County 911, where's your emergency?
Hi, over at the Champion Beach Bar parking lot, not the beach bar, over. There's a girl who got her bucky. She's laying in the parking lot, like, screaming.
This is the 911 call that Champion Township Police, just outside of Warren, Ohio, received early Friday morning. The caller says a woman was run over by a car.
Yes, we're out here with a car. She is messed up.
Investigators say surveillance video shows the woman getting into the truck of her ex-boyfriend, Dion Jones, in that same parking lot off of State Road. According to the police report, the video shows an altercation inside and outside the vehicle, with the woman being the primary aggressor before Jones drives away.
So you're saying she was assaulted?
I think so, yeah.
Police say the woman was run over by one of the rear tires. Jones told investigators he had no idea he hit her.
All right, does she have any obvious injuries or anything on her that you can see?
Yeah, bloody face, jacked up teeth, cut up.
The woman was rushed to the hospital. According to the police report, she suffered a broken nose, 2 black eyes, vision loss, a broken ankle, an infected knee, cuts and bruises all across her body. Jones was charged with felonious assault and failure to stop after an accident involving injury. As of today, Jones has not yet turned himself in. He told police he would do so when he was ready. Reporting, Brittany Weir, 19 News.
The Jeffrey Epstein files have led to another high-profile arrest in England.
Peter Mandelson, the former British ambassador to the United States, was questioned for several hours on Monday.
So this follows the last week's arrest of King Charles' brother, Andrew. He and Mandelson have denied any wrongdoing. Imtiaz Tiab has more.
Less than a year ago, Peter Mandelson was being warmly welcomed by President Trump in the Oval Office as the UK's ambassador to the US.
Thank you. My mother would be proud.
Yesterday, he emerged from a very different doorway after he was arrested by British police at his home and later released on bail. Mandelson is suspected of the same alleged offenses as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, the former Prince Andrew. Both men are being probed for, quote, misconduct in public office after emails show they allegedly passed UK government information to Epstein. Their arrests represent some of the most dramatic consequences yet from the release of more than 3 million pages of Epstein-related records made public last month by the Department of Justice. Mandelson has been a towering figure within the ruling Labour Party. He was tapped by the current Prime Minister Keir Starmer for Britain's most consequential diplomatic posting.
Mr. Speaker.
A move that nearly cost Starmer his job after emails revealed Mandelson maintained contact with Epstein even after the disgraced financier's 2008 conviction for sex offenses involving a minor.
He painted a picture of barely knowing Epstein. I didn't know that was lies at the time.
The DOJ's January document release added further scrutiny, showing Mandelson shared sensitive, potentially market-moving government information with Epstein in 2009 while serving as a senior minister.
Now, here in Britain, the Epstein files have already toppled a prince and ended a former ambassador and political heavyweight's career and could still force a sitting prime minister to step down. It's clear the fallout from the Epstein scandal has shaken the British establishment in ways we have not seen in the U.S., at least not yet. Imtiaz Tiab, CBS News, London.
Now your 19 First Alert forecast. Certified most accurate since 2004.
All Our next big things, we're looking at another round of snow tonight. Not a lot of snow, and this will really be during the overnight hours. About a trace to an inch, we'll say west of I-77. We'll use that as a dividing line. The further east you are, we'll get 1 to up to 2 inches. I'd say most of us get around an inch or so. And then a lot of this is going to start to melt tomorrow as temperatures will be back above freezing through really much of the day. We get another blast of some briefly colder air Thursday. Friday and Saturday, the days to really enjoy, get outside, will be well into the 40s. Some of us will get to the 50s. I'd say that's a better chance south of the Lakeshore, south of the Cleveland Metro. Lots of sunshine both days. And then Sunday and Monday, we're back to the deeper chill. Only briefly, though. Looks to be just those couple of days, but back below freezing, and snow will be possible mainly on Monday as another system tries to target the area. For your Wednesday, though, we'll be near 40 in the afternoon. It'll be a breezy day, courtesy of a west to at times a southwest breeze, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Could see a few flakes from time to time, especially earlier in the day, but overall, notice temperatures even in the morning will start above freezing, so we may get some snow overnight, but by the time the sun is coming up tomorrow, and especially throughout the day, a lot of that snow is going to melt. Won't see much of the sun tomorrow. I do have us mostly cloudy, may see a few peaks here and there, but not quite as blue of a sky as what we're seeing for many areas right now. Wind is another story, though. Not terribly windy, but nonetheless, overnight, this is going to be a wind-driven snow as that clipper, that front moves through. We could see gusts up to 40 miles per hour out of the south to southwest, and still a rather blustery day for our Wednesday as well. First Alert Future View, we're quiet through the rest of this evening. We're fine. Evening commutes, fine, all that. By 11 o'clock, you see the snow coming in from the north and west. It's here by around midnight. Notice as the snow is falling, it could be heavy, indicated by the darker colors, but temperatures right at or just above freezing. So we may end up seeing a quick coating on the roads, but a lot of this accumulation, I would say, is on grassy, elevated surfaces. Notice as this pushes to the south and east, 2 a.m., it does last a little bit longer and could be a bit heavier down there, hence the higher accumulation, 1 to 2 inches. And then we will see things quiet. Morning commute tomorrow, nothing's going to be falling. We'll already be in the mid-30s, so I'd say maybe just a little bit of lingering slush on roadways, but we should be fine for the morning commute tomorrow. Our next blast of colder air will come as we head into Thursday morning. So easy snow map here. West, we're traced to an inch, 1 to 2 inches farther to the east, and then that will begin to melt as we take a look at our First Alert 7-day. We're above freezing through Saturday. Real nice days Friday, Saturday. Cold again Sunday and Monday, and I'll put another snow chance in Monday, followed by milder air and a rain chance by next Tuesday.
Now to your top 4 at 4. 2 men shot late last night near the Olive Garden in Warrensville Heights. Police arrested 2 men, and the 2 victims were taken to the hospital. We're not sure yet if that's 4 people total or the people who sent to the hospital were taken into custody. So the investigation's still going on, working to get some answers here. Haven't heard back from police. The Olive Garden is open today after that shooting.
Today's show host Savannah Guthrie released a new video this morning, offering a $1 million reward for her mother's return. She also acknowledged for the first time that her mother, Nancy, may no longer be alive, but they still need to know what happened to her. The FBI Phoenix Field Office posted about Guthrie's $1 million reward. It's a family-offered reward to get the message out across the country.
The State of the Union is tonight. President Trump hints that the economy is expected to be a major topic. This is the first official State of the Union address of his second term. The speech comes amid growing unease over tariffs, affordability, and a U.S. military buildup near Iran.
All right, also this, a burglary at the Foundry Concert Club. This is in Old Brooklyn. Business just released this short video. They say a window was smashed, register drawers taken, safe containing about $1,500 in cash was stolen. Foundry Club says this is the 3rd time in a year they've been hit with crime. This time, these criminals decided to smash the place up as well.
Today, the U.S. House failed to pass an air safety bill aimed at preventing disasters like last year's collision between an Army Black Hawk helicopter and an American Airlines plane over the Potomac River.
The Rotor Act would have required most aircraft to be equipped with advanced locator technology. The head of the NTSB said it would have prevented last year's mid-air collision near Washington that killed 67 people. The bill passed the Senate unanimously and garnered support from key unions and families of those who died in the crash. Doug Lane, whose wife and young son were among the victims, questions why airplanes aren't already equipped with that technology.
I learned from the NTSB that ADS-BN recommended in a letter before he was born would have saved his life, my wife's life, and 65 other beautiful people.
Pentagon, which had earlier backed the measure, pulled its support ahead of the House vote. Breaking at this hour, a Utah County prosecutor's office will be allowed to proceed with its death penalty case against the man accused of killing Charlie Kirk. Tyler Robinson's defense had claimed prosecutors mishandled a potential conflict of interest, but a judge ruled the fact that one of the prosecutor's kids being at the event when Kirk was killed did not influence decisions in the case. Prosecutors said the child did not witness the shooting.
Also breaking, French President Emmanuel Macron accepted the resignation of the Louvre Museum's director. He had been under fire in the wake of a stunning heist of the French crown jewels. Thieves took less than 8 minutes in October to steal $102 million worth of jewels in a weekend heist at the world's most visited museum. Well, he admits to killing his girlfriend, a woman just 20 years old. Two families now torn apart because of senseless gun violence.
Vic Gideon was there, an emotional morning for the victim's family as the judge handed down the punishment.
I did what I heard.
An emotional Darian Hobley. He pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter in the death of his girlfriend. Hobley remembers the morning he reached for a gun in his car. He admits to shooting 20-year-old Riley Jones once in the chest. The two had been arguing outside the AutoZone, but he said he never meant to kill her.
I made a bad decision, and I deeply and wholeheartedly apologize for my involvement of the loss of Riley Jones.
Hobley's mother talked to the judge about her son.
This was his first offense. He has never been in trouble before. He was working to build a future and plans to join the military for structured purpose and a chance to serve his country.
And one of Riley Jones's 9 siblings talked about the loss.
And after my mother died, many of us, especially since I have no children of my own, began to see Riley as our own child. I witnessed her birth, and I never imagined I would one day speak about her death.
Judge Holly Gallagher then handed out her sentence.
You have an 8-year sentence to serve, up to 10.5 years. You're ordered remanded and transported.
Darian Hobley has already served 205 days, arrested moments after that shooting. He'll now serve at least 8 years from that August 4th date, starting at the Lorraine Correctional Institute. Reporting from the Justice Center, Vic Gideon, 19 News.
All right, following breaking news right now, this is on Brook Park Road. This is a live picture near Tiedemann. You can see a big police presence there. Brooklyn police tell us officers shot a suspect they believe was armed. We do not at this point know how badly the man has been hurt.
So this is near the Long John Silver's, the IHOP there. Brook Park is closed from Chevrolet and Hauserman. BCI has been called out to investigate the shooting. We are expecting police to give us an update at any moment now. We will stream it live on the free 19 News Plus app. Hurricane force winds and record snowfall is making this blizzard one to remember for those in the Northeast. Airports, power companies, and people who live there are all trying to dig themselves out of several feet of snow. Jared Hill is in New York City with details.
The cleanup from this week's bomb cyclone is expected to take days.
We just got walloped. That was one big snowstorm.
37 inches fell on Providence, Rhode Island, smashing a nearly 50-year-old record by 9 inches.
Did not give it a thought that we would have another blizzard like 78 in my lifetime.
From Maine to D.C., folks are slowly digging out of the biggest blizzard in decades.
The snow is really slushy. It's just on the edge of freezing. It's very heavy to shovel.
Even the plows had trouble. This one caught on a power line. A driver narrowly escaped injury when a branch smashed through the windshield. And another fell into a sinkhole.
Both tires popped,
The air brakes are gone. The whole truck's totaled.
At one point, more than 500,000 customers were without power across the Northeast. New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill says more than 90% of the outages in her state have been restored.
As I've been saying, if you've seen one storm, you've seen one storm. This storm was not normal. We were ready.
Another winter system is headed for the Northeast that could bring several inches of snow or rain to some areas as soon as tomorrow morning. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Airports in several major cities like New York, Boston, and Philadelphia are getting back up to speed after most flights were canceled yesterday. But there have still been more than 2,000 cancellations today.
New information on a box of bones found in a Madison Township house. The Lake County coroner says they are not suspicious. They were found in a home on South Ridge Road last week. Bones were both human and animal. The coroner says they are educational because of the hinges and other materials. Madison Township Police said their case is now closed.
I'm Nicole Versansky. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe for the latest headlines every weekday. Want to stream the latest Browns news? Be sure to stream Off the Leash tonight at 6:30 on 19 News Plus.